Today, we're going to be talking about why lawns are normalized, how they're culturally conditioned into us, and it's actually, I just saw a video where people who are planting native wildflowers in certain places, it's made illegal. They're getting fines. Grass lawns are mandatory now. In the 1930s to the 1960s, it was actually mandatory to have a well-manicured grass lawn in order to get certain home loans. So basically, that is complete cultural conditioning. And if you study, let's say, postmodernism, Piaget, you don't even need to get into all that, but you just need to understand that a lot of concepts, a lot of understandings that we have of reality are culturally conditioned and culturally relative. As a matter of fact, pretty much every concept that you use to understand the reality around you is culturally relative. Even science, even religion, even cultural relativity as an intellectual model. Whatever mode you see the world through, if you were born 2,000 years ago, maybe 4,000 years ago, maybe 40,000 years ago, you're not going to have that mental model. You're not going to come up with it yourself, unless you were the person to invent some religion, which could happen, but you're not going to come up with whatever model you see the world through, you wouldn't have come up with 40,000 years ago. So essentially, when we look at lawns and this understanding of lawns, it's almost, for a while, I didn't understand. I just almost, after I broke through the cultural conditioning of why lawns are just normalized and seen as okay, and even seen as mandatory, that people need to have their yards be well kept and manicured and not a natural system that produces food is good for the environment. It just it doesn't compute in my brain now that someone would enforce someone else having a lawn that's not good for the environment. So you kind of have to see that. You have to be aware of that cultural conditioning, because if we want to replace all the lawns with better stuff, we have to work within this system of changing people's cultural conditioning. How did this happen? I mean, a lot of cultural movements, social movements, environmental movements, what happens is that there's this really just wrong conception of how things work. And it's not just that, oh, we have all the wrong ideas and we're moving towards the right ideas. Ideas evolve. Lawns being well manicured. What are the good parts of that? Well, maybe in a certain society, it helped bring order into society from a complete disorganized chaos. It helped keep things nice and clean and get people to follow the rules and behave themselves and not commit crimes. And at a certain point, maybe just having this everything must be clean, we have to have well-manicured lawns before environmental degradation was at a threatening level, just kind of helped keep order going in society at a certain level of development. So every idea that's wrong in a certain sense, really, it's just culturally outdated. It's just this model that came up that was helpful for the survival of our species from a certain cultural paradigm. And a lot of this understanding is coming from spiral dynamics and that model. But basically, we just got to evolve past that way of thinking. So as far as lawns go, it's this culturally relative conception where the reality is there are people out there who fully believe everyone needs to have a well-manicured grass lawn. And as a culture, we need to realize that that is pointless, completely stupid. We don't have any need for that anymore. And as a matter of fact, it's extremely harmful, and we could replace it with things that are extremely beneficial. So that's the video. Just wanted to cover the intellectual, conceptual, relativistic concepts about lawns. That wasn't even a grammatically correct sentence, but peace.